Good evening and welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting of Wednesday, March 27th. At this time, I'm going to call upon everyone to stand so we can pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd ask that you all remain standing for a moment of silence in honor of our soldiers, past and present. Thank you. So at this time, I'd like to announce that our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, April 10th, 2024, here at the 400 Slocum Road building for the town office. Moving along to the public hearings portion of tonight's meeting, the first matter we have on is a special permit. It's ZSP 24-1. The petitioner is Andrew Hool, who's also the owner of the property. The subject property is located at 1115 Tucker Road, also known as Town of Dartmouth Assessors Map 153, Lot 6. It's located in the Single Residence A zoning district, and the property was legally advertised, actually, the petition was legally advertised on March 7th and March 14th of this year. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we waive the reading of the abutters.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. The petitioner is seeking a special permit to build a two-car garage with a half bath in a single residence A district, which does not comply with the zoning bylaws. So I'm gonna move on to the denial letter from the building inspector. This is a letter dated January 30th, addressed to Mr. Andrew Hool, and it's regarding 1115 Tucker Road. It says, I've reviewed your application, and at this time, your proposal cannot be approved due to non-compliance with current zoning regulations. Applicant proposes to build a two-car detached garage with a half bath, which will require a special permit from the Zoning Board of Appeals. Your application is being denied under the following sections of the Dartmouth zoning bylaw. Section 375-7.3. Accessory buildings or structures with kitchen or bathroom facilities, accessory buildings or structures within which a kitchen, wet bar, bathroom, or any plumbing is installed, such as but not limited to cabanas, garages, or studios. Such an accessory use is allowed by special permit granted by the Board of Appeals if the following requirements are met. 1, the Board of Appeals determines that the accessory building or structure will not be used as an additional residential unit on the property, and the Board of Appeals shall determine through a review of submitted building plans that the nature of the proposed plumbing, wiring, or other utilities is not proposed in such a manner so that the accessory building or structure could be used or converted into additional residential unit. If a special permit is granted, there can be an inspection once a year to determine that the accessory building or structure has not been converted into additional residential unit. Conversion will result in the revocation of the special permit after a public hearing in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 48. All right, now comments from town boards. We have the Board of Health indicates that the home is connected to town water and sewer. Planning review indicates that the application responses should be revised so that the property is within the aquifer overlay zone and within the floodplain. Conservation reviews, the project has been permitted by conservation. Please refer to the order of conditions under NOI 24-9. And from DPW, we have a comment from Chris Michaud to Tim Barber, and then a response from Tim Barber. Chris says, I see they are proposing private well water supply to the outbuilding with a sewer connection. The Board of Health does not have any mechanism by which to prevent the install of the well for service to the barn if setbacks comply. Seeing how this is a special permit, it may be opportunity for the Board of Appeals to write into the conditions that the water supply can be as desired by the DPW in municipal connection is preferred, as a municipal connection is preferred due to metering. That was sent by Chris, and then the response from Tim is there are two options for the utility connections, and this is Tim Barber, I presume?
Yes.
There are two options for the utility connections. If the barn is connected to the water service from the house, the water can be metered. If the barn is connected to a well, then a separate sewer-only account will be required as the usage will need to be estimated per DPW policy. The sewer connection from the barn is labeled as plumbing code. While the sewer line may follow plumbing code, the connection shall follow DPW construction specifications. So that's something we need to take into consideration, I believe, gentlemen. All right. We've got the advertisement. All right, so I believe I read everything. So at this time, I'm going to call upon the petitioner, who I believe is Mr. Andrew Hool, to come forward and state your case.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, we're looking to construct a two-car garage with a bathroom.
Excuse me, I just need you to identify your name and your address.
Of course, yeah, Andrew Hool, 1115 Tucker Road.
Thank you.
We're looking to construct a two-car garage with a second floor. That's going to be a workshop, office area. We want to put a half bath out there so that we didn't have to keep walking back and forth to the house for toilet facilities. We do intend to stay at the Tucker Road residence for many more years, so as we age in place, it's convenient for it to be located close to the house, both the garage and the facilities within the barn. We are looking to install a well, which is primarily for irrigation purposes, but since we're going to put that in, we felt it was also an opportunity to provide water to the barn as well, so.
All right, now, you say the barn, is the barn gonna be utilized, it says it's a two-car garage, you're gonna be utilized for,
I call it a barn because it's post and beam, but it's a garage, yes.
is it gonna be used for livestock or anything?
No, no, it's not.
So you do understand sort of the dilemma that places the DPW with water usage and calculation of water usage?
I do understand what their point is that if we're using a well source to flush toilets, that we're getting sewer usage that's not being monitored or paid for. I can't imagine we're going to use that much water in a single or a half bath, but if there's some sort of estimation that can be put on that, I'm fine with it. I certainly expect to save a lot of money with going from town water for lawn irrigation to well water.
So if we do place a condition that you have to comply with DPW construction requirements, that you'd be fine with that?
Yes, I assume that the connection is going to take place on existing sewer line, private part of the sewer at our property, and not at the street level.
John, do you have any questions?
Am I missing the half bath in the plans?
Yes, the plan was updated, but it had been, I believe it had been uploaded to the
I had it.
portal.
It's on the second floor, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
is, and it is on the second floor, yes.
What am I missing there?
Maybe on the back side of this? No.
In-
Here it is, here, it's really tucked away. Let's see it,
It's on,
right here. It says bathroom right here. I think you were looking for the actual location of a sink and a
Exactly.
toilet, so
Oh,
to
yeah,
speak.
yeah, yeah. All right, I see it now. Yeah, yeah.
Typically, what we do is we get an actual plan that shows the location of the proposed sink. Since it's a half bath, the proposed sink and the toilet, we don't have that here. But what we're gonna be granting is a half bath anyway, so I don't think it's all that relevant to us as to exactly where you place the toilet or the sink within the confines of the designated bathroom area. Any questions? How about you, Doc? Any questions?
Not at the present time.
Okay. So, given that this is a public hearing, we always grant an opportunity for anyone in the audience who has any opposition. Is there anyone in the audience who's in opposition to this request? Is there anyone else in the audience that's in support of this request? I can report to the viewers at home that there's no one either in objection or in support of the request. So, at this point in time, if there's any other question that you have of the petitioner, doctor, or?
Yes, Arvind, you go first. You
No,
want
no, I have no additional questions.
Okay. What percent of the land would be covered after this, if we accept that one? What percent of the land being covered?
Doc, the only thing with this one is this is not in an aquifer district, this petition. It's another one that's on this evening that's got an aquifer protection.
Is there any limitation of how much of,
How much? No, I don't think we have that.
I thought there was a limitation, how much of any
Would be on
property?
the
could
site
be-
plan, that information is provided.
Mike, look, planning review says it's in the aquifer zoning.
Yeah,
These are like going to the Conservation Commission.
as within the overlay zone. If it is, then why did it not require him to come forward? I don't know. The denial letter didn't say anything about him being in an aquifer zone. No, it is.
The existing building footprint is 3,361. The proposed would be 4,892 on 1.3 acres.
So they're indicating that this is within the aquifer overlay district. Are you aware of that?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
They're saying that this parcel of land is within the aquifer overlay district.
I'm not aware of that. What is the Aquifer Overlay District?
Well, it's near an area in which there's groundwater recharge to public drinking water and other, we have designated areas in the town in which there's heightened scrutiny or, restrictions as to the percentage increase that you can have. And that's what the doctor's raising, but the building inspector did not raise that as a concern. They didn't indicate that's relief that he's required. So I'm concerned for you at this point, because if we grant you the relief that you're seeking, it would only be with regard to the, we would only be granting a special permit for you to be able to hook up the water line to this structure. Now, if there's additional relief because of the fact that this is within an aquifer overlay district and you're increasing the percentage greater than that allowed, which is 10%, or 2,500 square feet, whichever is greater, I believe it is, then you're gonna have to come back to us. And maybe that's what the planning board was getting at when they said, the application responses should be revised so that the property is within the aquifer overlay zone and within the floodplain.
I can't imagine I'm in with either of those. One of the, probably the highest spots in town.
All right, so at this point, I'm just gonna leave it alone. If the building inspector feels that it is within the aquifer overlay district, then you're gonna have to come back to seek that form of relief.
Is there a map that identifies areas
It may
within?
very well be, but I don't know I don't have that map with me.
Okay,
And even if it is, I'm not the one that makes the determination if you are or you're not.
right.
And your engineering firm probably should have showed it if they thought it was in the aquifer district.
Yeah.
Now, a quick question for you. You've been to the Conservation Commission with
Yes,
this plan?
I've been through conservation. We worked through some buffer zone topics. The part of the
They would've
barn.
picked it up.
Yeah.
I think so.
And there was no mention at the Conservation Commission that you were in an aquifer overlay zone?
No.
Okay.
Is it quite possible that we're not, or?
Well, someone at the planning board seems to think that it is within the aquifer overlay, and they want the plan to reflect that. It could be that you still it could possibly be that even with this additional structure being built, you're not over the 10%. They just may want it noted on the plan, but you don't need to seek relief, because you do have a significantly large lot in relation to the amount of construction that's on it. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
See the size of the lot, right, in relation to what we have? So, Doc, I understand your concern, but the thing is the building inspector did not note it as something that he needs to seek relief for.
Thank you. I have a couple minor questions. if
Sure,
I may.
absolutely.
Yeah. What is the height and what they're going to do with the second floor? Because it looks we're going to have half bath, two-car garage. The first floor would be the garage. What would be the second floor, the use of it? What do you want to
Second
do?
floor is office or workshop?
Office?
Yes, for myself.
Is it allowable to have office in it? Is it what
Well,
type
it
of
could be a home
office?
office.
Office, yes. Yeah, it's not a business.
Well, you did hear when I read it to you that it's subject to inspection. Our job is to make sure that it could not be easily converted. It's not designed in a manner that it could be easily converted to be residential space. That's basically what our job is to determine here on a special permit basis. I don't see anything here that has separate rooms, anything that shows any closets that would give rise to maybe becoming a bedroom. we've granted some of these in the past in which they even have kitchens. I think there's one this evening in which they're proposing to have a kitchen. That always raises our concern and heightens our scrutiny a little bit.
I understand, but I thought that in the past, if they use for the office, they cannot have client to come back and forth. They could use it as a computer room or business, doing that way, but not as some place that the client would come up to pick up something or drop something, no transaction over there.
No, nothing like that.
This is something that I want to make sure that the board is aware that this is only for personal use. Whatever use that you have to use, it's acceptable, except what a legal use for that site would be, and you could use that one. That's what I'm trying to say.
I understand.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. All right, anything else?
No, I have nothing else.
All right, so we'll leave the public hearing open on this matter, just in case we need some additional information from the petitioner. I think I've got some proposed findings. Thank you, Michelle. Pass that down to the doc. I keep one of these.
Oh, I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong one.
You gave us the wrong ones.
Yeah,
Give me that back.
sorry. I didn't have these in order.
That's all right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, John, so stop me at any time, okay? The subject property is located at 1115 Tucker Road, Dartmouth, Massachusetts, and is also known as Assessors Map 153, Lot 6. The property has been owned by Andrew P. Hool and Muriel C. Hool as trustees since January 12th, 2012, and is located in the Single Residence A zoning district. The petitioner seeks a special permit to construct a 26 by 30 detached two-story, two-car garage with a half bath. Petitioner seeks relief under Article 8, Section 375-7.3, Special Permit Uses, accessory buildings or structures within which a kitchen, wet bar, bathroom, or any plumbing is installed. And 5, the board finds that after review of the submitted plans, that the nature of the proposed plumbing, wiring, or other utilities is not proposed in such a manner so that the proposed structure could be used or converted into an additional residential unit. And 6, the board finds that the addition of the pool, it should say, two-story garage the construction of the two-story garage will not be detrimental to the neighborhood as it is in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the zoning bylaw. Now, these are some of the conditions, and I just, as the petitioner, I want to make sure that we make this clear. The petitioner or any subsequent owner will secure all the necessary permits and approvals from all applicable boards and agencies prior to the issuance of a building permit, standard language. 2, subject to an inspection. The special permit is subject to an inspection once a year after notice to the owner to determine the accessory building has not been converted into an additional residential unit. And 3, the water supply and sewer connection shall be installed and connected in accordance with the DPW construction specifications. And 4, all restrictions and conditions imposed from any prior variances issued for this property shall remain in full force and effect. I don't think there are any with this property. Is there anything else? The only thing that's out of the ordinary here is the specifications for DPW, but that way they will have the ability to ensure that it's complied in accordance with the regulations that they have in place.
Any comment? Would you like to make any other one for business, if there's any business?
Residential. I don't have to mention anything beyond that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, gentlemen, any, because if there are no comments or no concerns or no further questions of the petitioner, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing on this case.
I make a motion that we close the public hearing on case number ZSP 24-1.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Now, any
I'm-
thoughts? Okay,
I'm fine.
great. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve special permit case ZSP 24-1 with the proposed findings and conditions previously stated.
Second the motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Congratulations. Good luck. All righty, moving on. Moving on to the second matter on tonight's list. It's special permit ZSP 24-2. The petitioner is Mark Raposo. The owner is Tiffany Raposo. And the subject property is located at 20 Charles Joseph Drive, map 65, lot 32-29. It's located within the single residence B district. The matter was legally advertised in the Dartmouth Chronicle on March 7th and March 14th of this year. Gentlemen, entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we waive the reading of the abutters.
Second the motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. The petitioner is seeking a special permit to bring water to an accessory structure, pool house, in a single residence B district which does not comply with the zoning bylaws. So let's move on to the denial letter. It's a letter from the building department. It's dated February 12th, and it's addressed to Mark Raposo at 20 Charles Joseph Drive in Dartmouth. I've reviewed your application. At this time, your proposal cannot be approved due to noncompliance with current zoning regulations. Applicant proposes to bring water to an accessory structure, pool house, that will require a special permit from the Zoning Board of Appeals. Your application is being denied under the following sections of the Dartmouth zoning bylaw. Section 375-8.3B, accessory buildings or structures with kitchen or bathroom facilities, accessory buildings or structures within which a kitchen, wet bar, plumbing is installed, shall not be limited to cabanas, garages, or studios. Such an accessory use is allowed by special permit granted by the Board of Appeals if the following requirements. And it's the same requirement as the last one, in which that we have to ensure that it's not easily converted or converted into a residential unit, and that there's a condition about inspection. All right, and we've got comments from town agencies. Board of Health says applicant has fulfilled requirements with the Health Department for the proposal listed within ZSP 24-2. And I've got no other comments. Is that the only comment on this? All right, so that's good. All right, so at this time, I'm going to call upon the petitioner or his representative. I see his representative is here this evening. If you could kindly identify yourself.
Good afternoon, good evening, Mr. Chairman. Richard Manning. I'm an attorney with an office in New Bedford representing Tiffany and Mark Raposo.
Good evening.
As you read, we're here to put a marijuana cultivating facility in the pool house. Just wanted to see if you remembered me. So the proposers are constructing a house on 20 Charles Joseph Drive. The house is nearly completed, and you can see on the site plan, it actually shows the location of the house. Knocking wood, they hope to be in very shortly. They also have an in-ground pool on the property. The proposal is to put, they're wishing to build a 40-foot by 25-foot pool house that obviously is right next to the in-ground pool. You do have plans showing the layout of this pool house. On the inside of the pool house, there will be basically a full bath. Not a tub, but it's a shower. There'll be a hand sink and a toilet. There also, inside the building, will be a wet bar area, which will have a sink. They'll probably have a fridge in there. And there is an island with some seats. There is nothing in the plans and no intention to put a range or a stove in there. As you can probably see, if you can read it on the plan, their grill is located right outside on the patio. And they're not going to be doing any cooking inside the building. Lastly, on the exterior of the building, under what I call the overhang, is another island area, and there would be a hand sink there, basically for when they're grilling and other purposes. So the rest of the building on the interior is just one big open space. It's the intention to use that open space for storage. If any of you have a pool, you know all the stuff that you need for your pool. There also is a small mechanical room, which that would be the area that facilitates hooking up both the toilet and the water feed to the existing sewer and water feed for the house. So the rest of the buildings, as I said, is just one big area for storage. It also, to be completely upfront, as most of us, I think, are married and know, it's going to be in part Mr. Repose's man cave, because everything that he wants to put in the house, his wife won't let him, will be in there, including maybe a pool table and a foosball table. Mine is in the basement. So the only other thing I'd point out is in terms of the size of the pool house, the size, including the size of the roof, was determined for the installation of solar panels that are going to be on that roof. So again, there's absolutely no intent to have anyone reside in their pool house. It's the only ones living there are the Reposes and their 2 young children. And as read by Mr. Chairman, they have absolutely no problem with annual inspections to ensure compliance with the non-residential use restriction.
Thank you. Gentlemen, do you have any questions?
Mr. Manning, the building itself is going to be like 25 by 40, with the concrete part being, oh, maybe I'm misreading this.
No, you're reading it right.
No,
Pad wraps around,
Yeah,
goes along the front and then the side.
yeah, but it's going to be more.
that's correct. It goes along the side between the pool house and the pool, and then on the side between the house and the pool house would be a concrete pad. And there is an overhang. If you look at the architectural drawings, you'll see that there is an overhang creating, I guess, a covered patio area, and that's the area between the pool house and the pool, and that's where that exterior sink will be, and to basically create an area where they can grill and cook and still be outside by the pool.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I have no
No,
additional.
thank you.
So at this time, given this a public hearing, I'm going to call upon anyone in the audience who'd like to speak either, well, let's start with in opposition to this request. Is there anyone that'd like to speak in opposition? Is there anyone that would like to speak in support? There not being either, if we don't have any other questions of the petitioner's representative,
So before you bring a motion, could I talk? So we're going to have more or less the same restriction that it will not be used as an accessory building. will
same
not be
exact thing.
used
Well, it'd be an accessory building, it won't be used as a residential unit.
Residential
Yeah,
unit, rental
residential.
units. Okay, thanks.
Except this one won't have the restriction about the DPW specification, meaning that, because they're not looking to have well water service the building. It's gonna be served by the same,
Understand.
whatever the same service is. And given this area, I think it's actually septic and well around here.
It is septic and well there, and it's just going to be hooked up to the existing for the house.
So we don't have any concerns there. I'm sure they're gonna deal with with Board of Health if there's anything.
Board of Health, as you indicated, has already approved it.
There we go. Any other questions, Doc?
No, thank you.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing on this matter.
I make a motion that we close the public hearing on special permit, which I cannot find. Hang on one
Yes.
second. Special permit number ZSP-24-2.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What are your wishes, gentlemen?
You got proposed findings? Thank you. You do.
All right, so here's some proposed findings, gentlemen, stop me at any point in time if there's some concerns. The subject property, and I already made some changes to it, because I happened to notice on the plan that there was an outdoor sink. The subject property is located at 20 Charles Joseph Drive, Dartmouth, Mass., and is also known as Assessors Map 65, Lot 32-29. The property has been owned by Mark and Tiffany Reposa since April 27, 2022, and is located in the Single Residence B zoning district. The petitioner seeks a special permit to construct a 25 by 40-foot pool house with a kitchen, bathroom, and outdoor sink. Petitioner seeks relief under Article 8, Section 375, 8.3B, special permit uses, accessory buildings or structures within which a kitchen, wet bar, bathroom, or any plumbing is installed. And 5, the board finds that after review of the submitted plans, that the nature of the proposed plumbing, wiring, or other utilities is not proposed in such a manner so that the proposed structure could be used or converted into an additional residential unit. The board finds that the addition of the pool house will not be detrimental to the neighborhood and is in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the zoning bylaw. And I'm going to read the conditions. The petitioner and/or subsequent owner will secure all the necessary permits and approvals from all applicable boards and agencies prior to the issuance of any permits or construction. The special permit places the property subject to an inspection once a year after notice to the owner to determine the accessory building has not been converted into an additional residential unit. And it says that all restrictions and conditions imposed by any prior variances issued to this property shall remain in full force and effect, which doesn't appear to be any. Any questions, gentlemen?
I have done.
These are pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Doctor?
You make a motion?
I make a motion that we approve special permit case ZSP 24-2 with the proposed findings and conditions previously stated.
Second the motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Congratulations. Good luck with your construction. All right, moving on to the third matter that we have on for tonight's meeting. It's special permit case ZSP 24-3. The petitioner applicant is Sean Noonan. The owner is Jason Lord. The property is located at 38 Lakeside Avenue, also known as map 186, lot 2. It's located within the single residence B zoning district, and the matter was legally advertised in the Dartmouth Chronicle on March 7th and March 14th.
I make a motion that we waive the reading of the abutters list.
Second the motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. All right, let's move on to the denial letter. This is a letter dated January 24th of this year, and it was addressed to Sean Noonan in Auburn, Mass. And it says, it's regarding 38 Lakeside Avenue. I have reviewed your application, and at this time, your proposal cannot be approved due to noncompliance with the current zoning regulations. You are proposing to build an 18 by 20 sunroom onto an existing single-family residence in a single residence B district and aquifer protection overlay district, Zone 3, which does not comply with the town's zoning bylaws for lot coverage. A special permit must be applied for and secured from the Zoning Board of Appeals in order to proceed with your request. Your application is being denied under the following sections of the Dartmouth zoning bylaw. Aquifer Protection Overlay District, Article 28, Section 375-28.5B8, prohibited uses, lot coverage above 10% or lot coverage above 2,500 square feet of any lot, whichever is greater. The existing is 21.5%, and I believe that the proposed will be at 42%. The subject property is located within the single residence B district. And comments. We have comments from the Board of Health, which says the home is connected to town water and sewer. We have comments from the Planning Board, which indicates that the application responses should be revised so that the property is within the aquifer overlay zone and within the floodplain. So we got a similar issue here. And Conservation says a jurisdictional wetland resource area exists off-site to the south of the proposed project area. Therefore, that area falls within the 100-foot buffer zone, and filing with Conservation will be needed before any construction activity can occur. So hopefully the petitioners are aware of this. If they're not, then they will be. So at this point in time, I'm going to call upon the petitioner or their representative to come forward and state their case.
Hi, Mr. Chairman. Basically, we're building an 18 by 20 Category 3.
You need to identify yourself.
Kevin
name and-
White, sorry, representative of Central Mass Sunrooms, contractor.
Contractor. Fair enough.
Like you mentioned, 18 by 20 Category 3 sunroom built on helical piles. So there'll be no excavation, standard PT pressure-treated frame, no water, just electric.
All right, gentlemen. I've seen the proposed plans on this and also the plot plan. You have any questions, Attorney Human?
I guess I'm not understanding the plot plan.
Okay, I guess there's an existing deck. I'm not, well, I don't know.
There's a portion of the deck we'll demo and reframe. So basically, where you see proposed sunroom, that's the sunroom. And I think an 8 by 20 deck will come down so we can reframe with a ledger connection. So we're actually just increasing it by 8 feet towards the back projection.
But does this look correctly that this actual sunroom is gonna be bigger than the house?
No, it's only an 18 by 20.
I'm sorry, my eyesight.
May not
here.
be to
I'm
scale.
looking at the small pieces, that's my problem, it's my eyesight, I see.
That'd be a big room.
Yes, it would be. No, I'm looking at this now. This is, it's laid out in light blue, very light blue. And I don't have my reading glasses on, these are for distance. So, I do see what it,
Do you have the big plan with you?
We just have this.
Just have the little
I think that
one?
might be better for us. I see it now, but I just want to make sure.
There's a few of them.
No, these are the architectural plans, I want the plot plan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe there isn't one. These are just the
I think I have
architectural
one.
plans.
Yeah, I don't have one.
You don't have one, all right, we're gonna try to make good with this one.
Sorry.
So, the second look at this, but I still don't understand.
Where's the
It
house?
looks like the house is this blue outline here,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
and then he overlays it over, because the segmented line shows the perimeter. There's a segmented line that shows the perimeter, I believe, of the existing deck that's gonna be removed. Is it, do you have a copy of that plan?
Can I show you? Yeah, I got
Yes,
this one.
You can approach, come on.
So, basically, here's the room, here's the house. And the deck right now is here, and then there's a little dotted line there, that's also existing deck right now.
Yes.
So we're taking out that portion, we'll reframe new. All the midspan beam and a beam out front with a total of 9 helical piles, so we're not excavating.
While you're standing there, let me just make sure I understand this. The existing house right now is 4.8 feet from their boundary line? Is this their boundary line right here?
Yes,
No, we're on that side.
here.
That's the boundary line. They don't own Lot 1 that's shown on that plan, correct?
No.
No,
We don't know.
lot one, I believe, is the abandoned Moser house.
Okay, and you don't own Lot 3, the one next door?
No, I do not.
Okay. And does your house, now maybe you should be up there at the, yeah, go ahead.
Just identify yourself.
Just, all right.
Dr. Jason Lord, 38 Lakeside Avenue, Dartmouth.
As I'm looking at this plan, it looks like your house fits almost entirely on the front half of the lot. Am I misunderstanding that? There's an existing driveway.
Yes, sir.
What is that square next to the existing driveway?
That is grass.
Oh, and then where's the entrance to your house?
I go through there's a garage where it says existing driveway. There's a door to the left right there that I walk through the garage and in.
Wait.
And then where it says existing slab elevation, that's a garage. And I enter through the garage and then
Okay.
go left into the home. And then the front door where my wife enters typically is where it says existing concrete walk on the left-hand side.
Okay,
of
on the
this.
left-hand side.
Yep,
Okay.
that's kind of like her front door, and I'm kind of going through the garage there.
All right.
So you're saying where it says existing driveway and where it says existing slab, there's actually some doorway there in that part of the house?
That's correct. If you, the garage, if you look at like the existing slab portion, if you see like the little like inlet, and where it says existing deck to remain, that's kind of the living portion, and that whole right side, existing slab side, is a garage.
Okay. All right, so, but the thing is, I think the most applicable portion is this here.
Right.
So right now, there's a deck that extends here. They're gonna knock this down, reconstruct it, and make the whole thing an entire sunroom.
Right.
And that increases the percentage from, and that's what they're here for, it's basically for the aquifer overlay, for the impervious surface.
And it won't be a foundation, that's gonna be sonotube.
The entire lot is 7,450 square feet according to this plan, correct? Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Looks to me like 50% of that is covered by house and/or existing driveway, or a good chunk of it. Am I misreading this?
No, it's quite a bit. I don't know how you get only 41%.
No, you can get less than that.
Well, not only that, how are you only at 20, how is it only at 21%?
21.5.
Only at 0.5. So I don't know how the building inspector, where did he get those percentages from?
I don't know.
Perhaps there's more grass than it appears on, like each, to the left and right side of the house is grass. In between that existing concrete walkway is grass.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's like grass in the front. I understand it's difficult to read it that way.
This is grass, and this is grass.
Yeah,
and
the whole
that's
front of it's grass, except
Yeah.
for that little strip of
Still,
concrete.
it looks like more than 40, whatever it is. It looks more like more than 21.5, but what do I? All right.
And then it's on Lake Nokichoke.
This is one of those projects that's going to need an infiltration system. Am I wrong?
The thing is we don't always require it. But DPW, if they're gonna require, well, there is additional roof line on this, right?
I guess.
I don't know, where do we see the percentages on this plan? We usually want it done by an engineer for us.
Right.
And I don't see it here.
I've had it surveyed and engineered, both did.
But the thing is I don't see where it says on this plan. We only went off what the building inspector had, and I don't know what he had at that point in time to make that determination. But if I look at this plan, I don't see anything on this plan that says that it's been determined by an engineer what the existing conditions are as far as lot coverage and what the proposed will be after the structure is built. I don't see that here on this plan. And I'll be honest with you, I don't feel comfortable moving forward just based on a letter from the building inspector where I don't know what he's relying on. Do you feel any different about it?
I don't, no, I'm concerned.
What is your major concern about the lot coverage? Educate me.
So typically what happens is a plan is put together, like you've done here, and as part of this plan, it'll do a calculation. They'll provide us a calculation as to the existing conditions, what percentage of it is impervious as it sits now.
Okay.
And then also a calculation with taking into account the proposed construction that you want to, the proposed structure that you're going to build, adding that to it, and then recalculating what the impervious surface percentage will be then. And then we know what we're dealing with. If I look at this plan, I don't see anything on this plan that tells me that it's 21% or 21.5 right now, and it will be only 41% after. I don't have anything referencing that that's been stamped by an engineer.
Understood. Now, does a deck count already as coverage, because I know it's 18 by 20, but existing is already basically 8.
Under our bylaw, a stone driveway is impervious.
Understood.
Unfortunately, I don't necessarily follow the logic on that, but our
Right. I mean,
bylaw
that's
says that a
usually what you
stone
use for
driveway
drainage, correct?
is impervious.
Yeah, so it is a very small amount of new impervious area.
It is, I
that
agree.
we're looking
It doesn't
for.
mean that we're not, I'm not personally adverse to granting this, it's just that I don't feel comfortable granting it without knowing exactly what it stands at now and what it will be moving forward.
If conservation and the building inspector approved it,
Well, they didn't approve
They
it.
didn't approve it.
All they did is they wrote me a letter denying it, and they said in here that, how did they come up with 21.5%? How did the building inspector know it was 21.5%? It's not his job to do the calculation. He's not an engineer.
Is there another plan that we don't have that you gave to the building inspector?
No, sir.
Okay.
I don't know how he did the calculations. Am I missing something here?
What is the lot coverage concern?
What is it, why is there concern?
Yes.
Because you're in an aquifer overlay district, that's why you're here. Because of the fact that you're greater than 10%, your lot coverage, meaning your structure takes up over 10% of the lot. You're already a pre-existing non-conforming. That means that you don't comply with the current requirements under the bylaws. However, there's nothing we can do about that. Why? Because it's a pre-existing non-conforming. The house was built before the law was put into place. But now you're modifying it by adding to the home, further creating additional impervious surface. That's why you have to come before us to get the relief that you need.
Okay.
And the problem is this plan doesn't even indicate to us how much impervious surface exists right now. I can see based on the plan, but I don't know what the percentages are, and I don't know what it's gonna be after this building is, this addition is placed on the property. So is this all that we received? Is there anything else in the file?
That's it.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you an opportunity, we're gonna give you another date, give you an opportunity to go back to your engineer to utilize, you're gonna utilize the same plan. I would only suggest that if they could, just outline the actual home a little bit better so that we can have a little better visibility with it. But provide us calculations for existing conditions, for impermeable surface, and what the proposed will be. Because I only read to you the 21.5% based on a letter from the building inspector, and I don't even know how he got that.
Is he,
I wish he was present here, but he's not.
understood.
And I'm sure, you know, I know spring's right around the corner, well, spring, we're already in spring, but the weather doesn't necessarily reflect that, and you want to get things going. When's our next date?
April 10th,
All right, and how many matters do we have on for April 10th?
1.
All right, we'll put them on for April 10th.
Yeah, but the concern is, I mean, that everything keeps getting pushed back, and then, like, it becomes years and years of like, pushback on this, and
I
I'm just
understand,
like,
but the
keep
thing
getting-
is.
honestly, I keep getting jammed a little bit, and I'm hopeful that this is gonna move forward, you know, with it, so I don't know is there anything that we can do to get it done today?
The only thing I would do today is I'd probably deny it, and you don't want to do that, because I'm
No,
going to
I'd
put you in a
rather
worse
not do
position,
that.
because you're going to have to go refile it all over again. And I don't mean to be difficult, I
No,
really
I know.
don't.
I want
It's
you to do
just
your
that
job. It just didn't, you know, it looks, to me, a layman, it looks like a very minimal increase based on what we have.
It may be, but it needs to be determined. It needs to be determined and done by someone who has the legal, I mean, the skills, they have the skills to make that determination that we can rely on. And it's not on this plan.
Okay.
I'm still baffled, and I'm gonna ask Michelle, if you could find out how it was that the letter from the denial letter from the building inspector references 21.5 and 41. What information he relied on?
If those numbers were correct, would we be okay?
If those numbers were on this plan,
Yeah.
right, if those numbers were on this plan, and, meaning approved by a licensed surveyor or engineer, and in this case, it'd be an engineer more than likely, if they were done in that fashion, we'd probably be moving forward, but given that they're not, I can't.
Understood.
So sort of give you, well, I can only speak for myself. Do you have any
No,
other?
I have the same issue. Your piece of property does not comply with zoning right now, okay? So
Let me just
that,
make one thing clear. Probably most of the people in that neighborhood don't
yeah,
comply with
nobody
zoning.
complies with zoning,
Yeah.
right? So you're considered a pre-existing, there before, non-conforming, because you don't comply with zoning, piece of property. Now you're asking us to make you more non-conforming by adding the sunroom.
Yeah, small sunroom.
No, I understand that, but you're now increasing the nonconformity without giving us, and because you're in the aquifer district.
Yes.
You can't have more than 10% of your property covered without us giving you a special permit to have more than 10%. And we don't know what's going to be covered at this point, because the plan doesn't state it.
Okay.
That's the problem.
But let me just leave you with some comfort. Other people have come before us with similar requests that we've granted. This is not a unusual request, but they have to jump through the hoops, and that's what you're faced with.
Understood.
Doc, any questions of this petitioner? Any comments you'd like to make?
How about they use the same amount of coverage that they have, and they don't have to come up here? If they,
Because otherwise, if you do that, they won't be able to build. They'll only be able to build a sunroom the same size as the deck as it exists. That's not what they want. And I don't blame them.
then in that case,
I think what they're trying to do is not a bad idea. It's gonna have a beautiful view of the lake. It's just unfortunately, it's gonna start a couple of weeks, a little bit later, potentially. So, what date again?
April 10th.
All right. So is there any document, does he need to sign anything in order to? I don't,
So
well,
if I
well,
do,
well,
I can get in touch
if there's
with them.
anything.
Yeah.
All right, so someone make a motion that we continue the matter to April 10th?
Was there a question?
Are you?
No.
Sorry, I should.
No, you can come up, just identify yourself.
Hi, I'm Michelle Perry. I reside at 38 Lakeside Avenue. So this project has been going on for years, and we had previously had an engineer draw up plans for actually an addition, a living room addition, And I was just asking, I didn't know if those plans had the percentage, because I remember discussing this at some point with someone. So I didn't know, I was asking him maybe
Because I'll be
those
honest with you,
plans.
this, going from 21.5 to 41, that seems like a lot for just this small addition. It didn't
Exactly.
seem like the math adds up to me.
Yeah,
But that's why we need that to be calculated, placed on a plan, and endorsed by the appropriate land surveyor or engineer.
Yeah.
So
Which is
I'm gonna give you an
unfortunate because I've
opportunity
had
to get-
both- I've literally had both out. I've had this engineered, looked at, and then was told that the stamp.
You gotta stand in the microphone so that we can hear you.
For me, I've had an engineer out to come out and like survey it and line it up, and then submitted that, I believe, and then it was told that it's changed, and now we need a survey to come out and survey it. So it's like I've gone through like an engineer and a surveyor on my end, so
Sometimes
it's
that
just a
happens.
little odd that it's not covered, but I will get you the proper numbers that you require. It's just on my end, it's a little like, I wish it was there so this could be ready for
Okay.
you set up.
We understand your frustration. So we'll put you on for I can't get the head,
April 10th.
I can't get that date in my head. April 10th. I guess I'm trying to avoid it for whatever reason. All right, Halim won't be here that day, but hopefully we'll have a quorum.
Yeah.
All right, you gentlemen will be available April 10th?
As of now, yes, I do not
As far as I know.
Yeah.
Good. All right, so I'll entertain a motion to continue matter to April 10th.
I make a motion that we continue special permit ZSP 24-3 to April 10th, 2024.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Look forward to seeing you guys in a couple weeks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care. All righty.
I will open this one.
Moving on to the administrative portion of tonight's meeting.
Thanks.
The first matter I have is review and approval of administrative minutes of December 20th, 2023.
Wait, slow it all down here.
Any questions or comments, gentlemen? This is the administrative minutes of December 20th, 2023.
Nothing to add.
Is this for the Farms Corner Road?
No,
Okay.
that's the last one, and we're gonna table that one.
Okay.
I have no question, I have no comments on this.
I have none.
Any comments on this one, Doc?
No, thanks.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the administrative minutes of December 20th, 2023 as written.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Next is review and approval of minutes of December 20th, 2023, use variance ZAV 23-6, 481 Fons Corner Road. That we're going to table, given that Dr. Agai had recused himself in the case in chief or the underlying case, and therefore we don't have a quorum in order to vote on that. And while we're on that, it's also review and approval of the minutes of January 17th, use variance ZAV 23-6, which is also Fons Corner Road. So both of those will be continued or tabled to the next date of April 10th. Moving on, review and approval of minutes of December 20th, 2023, ZAV 23-15, and special permit ZSP 23-6, 12 Main Avenue.
Wait a minute, why do I not have that? Do I not have that?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
all in one, the special permit and it's the special permit and the variance in one. Am I right?
No. 23-15, oh yeah, she's got them both here for, she's got them both in one. This is 23-15 and 23-6. This is the one. She does have that.
Okay.
But then we have another number here of 23-6. Why do we have another one here? I think this number's incorrect.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh, no, that's the right one. That's for 41, we're continuing now.
Right.
That's right. I apologize.
Okay, that's okay.
And this one's the other one.
23-15.
Yes, and 23-6. It's all in one, it's combined. It's called, it's variance slash special permit, gentlemen.
Oh, I see it.
You see
Okay.
it?
Yeah. Okay.
One of those I had a correction to make too. I don't know if it was that one. Let me just take a quick look. I think I marked it up. There was
Which
one
one
that I
is that
made a
you're
little
talking
correction on.
Maybe go next one.
Let me see.
That's not it. Oh, I caught that, yeah.
Okay, you caught that, okay.
did,
I
and
saw that,
did
but that's actually
correct
not
it.
on for tonight. You're corrected,
Okay.
okay, it's not on for tonight anyway. right, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion.
What?
I make a motion that we approve the review, and we approve the minutes of December 20th, 2023 for variance ZAV-23-15 and special permit ZSP 23-6 for 12 Main Avenue.
Second the motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Next is review and approval of minutes of December 20th, 2023, special permit ZSP 23-3, 610 State Road.
I have nothing to add.
Neither do I. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of December 30th, 2023 for special permit case ZSP-23-3, 610 State Road.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it.
I'm gonna table that
And that's
next
it.
one.
All right, there's a note here.
That's it.
That's it, gentlemen. The other two being tabled to the next date. And is there any other business that we need to discuss here? Nope. Any concerns about anything that we've already discussed here tonight or any other night prior to? All right, then I'll entertain, excuse me?
Nothing, just,
Oh, sorry. I'll entertain a motion that we adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
second the motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Have a nice evening, everyone.